Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 9th of December. So looking at the markets this morning, starting off looking at the possible impact risk, and well, we've got this afternoon we've got inflation, we've got the PPI data, US inflation, Producers Price Index. Now it's a bit of a mixed one. This in normal times it really has very little effect on the markets, but any type of inflation at the moment seems to have more effect for sure, and any sort of even outline data is having more impact. So I would be very aware of this at 1:30. I can't remember how much it moved last time, but I seem to remember when I was looking back it probably had about a 20 pip move or something like that associated with it roundabouts. But it was quite a big miss last time. I'm sure it had a bigger move. Anyway, there you go. That's the key news there this afternoon. In at 3 o'clock, there's the US prelim consumer sentiment. So. As I say, not a great deal, but just checking on speakers. We've got ECB speakers 9:30, 9:30, 1:30. Yeah, 9:30 and 1:30 really. Right. Okay, let's crack on and look at these markets. We're starting off as ever with the euro dollar, and as you can see, it's made a bit of a push back up to the highs, higher low coming through on this near-term time frame as well. I was really originally looking at the break of this sort of trend line here where it's broken that, having sold off but then pushed up again, and pretty much it's hovering around those highs at the moment. It's whether or not it can actually push up and get a continuation. As I said at the beginning of the week, I was a bit more bullish on the euro still, but waiting my time. Well, still waiting anyway, but it's got scope. We'll see how it reacts this morning, but would like to be on the long side. It's whether or not I can get a decent trade into it. At the moment it's sitting around its daily R1, has got its untouched daily pivot, so a drop back to that might give a opportunity in terms of a buy around that area. So that's what I'll be looking at. There you go, planned. The pound, similar picture then, not quite pushed up as high as the euro has relatively, so it's got a bit of it's stalled behind, but from a daily perspective there it's into its R1 as well, and again lagging around here, daily pivot still below, untouched. Reason I mention this, it's got a high probability of being hit each day, nearly 80%, 75%, I ran those numbers, so I'm normally looking back to see what chance it has. Dollar yen, similar but inverted picture kicking through here. In fact, I should take that off now. I don't know, I should have left that on because I've only just put it on this morning. Just realised what it was. I was just watching this potential upside here, but the bigger moves seem to be to the downside here. It's whether it can continue. It has actually run all the way through, almost down to its S2 this morning in a hand, has clipped the daily pivot, so it's a little bit less interesting in terms of the potential moves. The statistics behind it, it's already ticked the boxes really, but again, really want to be on the downside of that if we can get in there. Aussie US dollar, I'm not so keen on this pairing, full stop. I've really, yes, this is a trend line from yesterday. I was looking across the lows there. I think it was a trend line from yesterday. Maybe in this morning I put this on as well. I did. It's alright, just reminding myself, but just looking at this, it's just weaker. Again, got an untouched daily pivot. Looks like that could be on. Of course, if everything changes this morning and the dollar starts dropping off, strengthening, beg your pardon. No, dropping off. We'll see the Aussie pushing up, but get my brain in gear this morning. Lower highs on the way down there. Just the weaker of the pairings at the moment, really. CAD of the majors. Just looking at the majors here. CAD, so high lows from this time frame. It's going the wrong way really. It did get that decent shove down at 10 o'clock yesterday morning, but on that 10 o'clock bar, it's a mess around here. Maybe I'm just looking at it's weird sometimes the you can see it from here actually. It's put a lower high in, and we've got a consolidation around where it's sitting at the moment. So I'll just show you this. So it's run up, it's ended up with a lower high, couldn't maintain the upward movement there, pulled back, and it's consolidating now. I would prefer to see it come back to its daily pivot and then look on the short side. So if it's going to go, if it's not, it's not. It's a funny old market on a Friday with the CAD anyway. Right, switch markets here and have a quick look across. Have a look at oil first here. So it's really been continuing to the downside at this stage, still pushing further and further south. Lower highs all the way through it. It's an ugly one to try and get into at the moment. Again, it was sort of the 2 o'clock bar that starts the action yesterday on the downside, but I was looking originally off these lows here, but it rallied through the London session, but sold off through the US session. Now what's going on there? I don't know what went on there, but something went on. Managed to turn it back. Anyway, there we go. Sitting there flattish at the moment. Right, this gold. Let's quick look at gold. Like these other markets against the dollar, softening, and the gold seems to be picking up a bit better. Just looking what's going through there. Still, it's air kissed the daily pivot. It's got an upward trend if you're looking for that. I mean, I'm not looking to get into it at the moment, but it's there. Okay, looking at the equity markets, he says. Got the wrong list on here. It's alright, I've just clicked it. It's from a different time frame. It's alright. So the equity markets here, the CSI 300 continuing to push to the upside there. It's certainly helped it, the sort of relaxation in the Chinese rules on COVID, and it seems to be much more in line, starting to come in line with the other markets now. And the Nikkei, well, decent bounce last night, or through the Asian session there, pushed up quite well. It's such an ugly chart because all the gaps and everything that sit through it, but to me it looks like, well, it's in a bull flaggy sort of pattern here, and there's got some scope to continue in that direction as we go through next week. Bit of an ugly case with the Nifty 50 though this morning. I mean, generally we've been sitting in here looking at like a nice bull flag, and it's done a key reversal bar sitting so far. It hasn't completed, but just a bit of softening through that. The only thing it does give is a couple of points to draw the trend line on and look for the break. S&Ps. So S&Ps bounced yesterday, managed to hold grip on, and are a positive stage at the moment. And this all could change come this afternoon, of course, with the PPI data coming out. Pushing up, the Dow looking the more positive of the two, but again similar picture, pushing up at the moment, looking a bit more positive. Yeah, I like the look of these much more. Nasdaq is a bit of a delayed factor, but it's in that same ball game at the moment, pushed up yesterday and looking positive. So similar picture across the markets there. The DAX would have liked it to have come off back to its monthly pivot, just because it's a nice area of support, but if it wants to go beforehand, it's been ugly as anything. I've looked at it through the day, and it's just it's spiky. It's pretty horrible. It's had its best move through the Asian session here, or the cleanest movement so far. Maybe we'll get a cleaner move continue through here, but at the moment, as a market, the last few days there, it's been as choppy. Even leading up to, well, we had a decent move down on that morning, but largely it's looking ugly on the intraday here. Makes for losing money for people, I think. But I'd just stay out of that sort of market. I'm not interested. Finally, the FTSE key reversal. Let's just check. This is it is a futures market. Looked like a key reversal barring yesterday. Of course, this is today's bar, but yeah, there was a key reversal in at the lows there, and just catching on to the positive side. Looks much more positive through the time frames. Maybe post 8 o'clock, if we get any retracements or any moves from this, it could give it a long opportunity. Why long when it's coming down like this? Well, because I'm still looking at what's going up like that. So looking at the biggest scheme of things, I still want to be on the more bullish side on that so far. At this stage, that's pretty much it. Kind of lower time frames as well of oil. Okay. Let's get the spot crude here. So let's get a continuous. It's continuous. It's the lower time frames, because I know what you want to do. You want to buy it, obviously. When you're looking at me to, I did actually look at the lower time frames of oil. I'm not looking at anything less than an hour on the Western Texas, if that's what you want. But it's still sitting there in bearish zone for me. It doesn't change. You probably want to buy it because you want to buy it at some stage. It is sitting in support, but there we are. That's why I'm leaving it. I know why people want to look at things sometimes in so much definition is because they're looking to buy, because it's making a low. It's making lows all the way down everywhere else. Yep, it does get these bounces, to be fair. Anyway, on that sweet note, I wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you Monday morning. Have a great weekend all. Take care.